about this shit. What do you mean? Sweetie Belle! This is like the millionth time she's keeping us waiting for her. Really? I feel like this only happened like 2 or 3 times before today. I highly doubt that. But I guess one can only make so many sketches before losing track about everything that happens. Yeah, that seems about right. Scootaloo. Yeah, Apple Bloom. Can I ask you something a bit more personal? Okay, but you aren't going to confess your love to me or something like that, are you? No, you. Nothing like that. Then I guess you can ask me. Alright, I wanted to ask how it is that you are a Pegasus and still you're not able to fly. Hey, what the hell? I meant no offense. I just have always been wondering. The show never really gave a real answer on why your character couldn't fly. And as far as I know, you as the real pony aren't able to fly either, so I wanted to ask why that is the case. Do you really want to know? Well, I'm not really dying to know it, but I think it would make my day if you told me. In that case, and seeing that Sweetie Belle is nowhere to be found, I guess I can tell you the story. But be warned, it is really, really super sad and tragic. Meh, I guess I can handle your dark and edgy backstory, if you say so. My story begins many years ago when I had just became a little filly. So about 5 years old, if I'm not misremembering. At that time, my parents were still living with me in the old house my aunts are now owning. Life was simple back then, but as I was with my family, I was happy. But it all changed when one day, my parents had to leave for their first great expedition. Deep inside the Amapone jungle, a new indigenous tribe of ponies had been discovered and my parents were chosen to study them. Honored by this opportunity, they packed up their things and left me with my aunts. But me still being a very young pony, I couldn't understand why they would have left me. Don't get me wrong. On holiday and Annie Lofty are great and I really love them, but they couldn't replace my parents. So I cried for 3 days and nights throughout, unable to absorb the loss. Until on the 4th day, my longing for my parents had become unbearable for me, so I decided to follow them on their journey. I also packed up my stuff and in the quiet of noon, when my aunts were out for shopping, I hitched away. But as I had no idea which direction my parents had gone, I wandered about for the longest time. Luckily, the other ponies ignored or even avoided me, so there was nothing stopping me. All I knew was that my parents had been searching for some kind of forest or something, so I did the same. It took me until sundown to finally hit pay dirt and find a forest. But it wasn't the kind of forest I had been looking for this wasn't the Amapone jungle, but the dreaded Everfree Forest. The Everfree Forest! But this place is brimming with wild creatures! That's right. So, as I was saying, after entering the dark forest, I started wandering for some time, always keeping my eyes and ears open. After about half an hour, I guessed I was deep enough inside the forest to start the next step of my plan, calling out for my parents. Mommy! Daddy! But no pony answered my calls. So I tried again and again, but no matter how loud I was shouting, no pony seemed to hear me. Sadly, this fact would become more literal as I had wished for. So if no pony heard you, who did? Or what? As I was keeping wondering and calling, I suddenly heard a rustle in the bushes. And something else. Something wild. Savage. Like a growl, mixed with wooden creaking and mushy slurping. I should have known better back then, but my curiosity was stronger than my prudence. So I took a look behind the bushes, and right into the faces of 3 timber wolves who had just killed a deer. Oh dear. Exactly, but that wasn't even the worst part. It gets even worse. Surely you can imagine the fear I felt being faced with those deadly creatures, as well as a mutilated corpse. My mind blanked as I suddenly turned around and started running for my life. Obviously the timber wolves started chasing me, for I was an easy-to-get midnight snack. I ran and even tried flying over the treetops. But wherever I went, the timber wolves were already there. This is where my mind is getting more and more blurry. All I can remember is a burning pain in my back, desperately kicking at the wolves and finally collapsing at the forest border. Using all of my left power to hold onto the mangled remains of my wings. You're what? Luckily my aunts found me in time and immediately brought me to the next hospital. I still can hear their desperate calls. Their pleas for me to stay awake. After an all-in-all very stirring night, I woke up in a hospital bed. My back hurt like hell, but apart from that, I was mostly fine. My aunts were there too, furious but also overjoyed they rebuked me for running away and getting into trouble. And I couldn't blame them for doing so. After some more time, a doctor visited me and explained what had happened during my blackout. He told me that he and his colleagues had spent all night fixing my wings and reattaching them onto my back. But even though the surgery had been a success, my wings would no longer be able to lift my weight enough to fly. So my dream of becoming a star flyer was destroyed. Disappeared into the night like the Timberwolves who had taken it. Well, I had no idea. That's horrible. It is, but also completely made up. What? Yeah, I was just jerking you around. The real reason is that I just kept skipping flight school until they gave up on me. Oh, you're such a fucking bitch cunt. Making me feel all sorry for you and shit. You should be ashamed of yourself. Come on. It was just a joke. No, it was not. I really felt sorry for you. You just can't betray the trust of a friend like that. You're right. I guess I really took it too far this time. And for that, I am sorry. It's all right. I was the one who brought up the topic, so we are both equally at fault. Hey, you girls! SB is out to place, fam. Oh, great! Your Highness has finally decided to show up to our meeting. Stop it, Apple Bloom. We should rather ask what the hell was up with her greeting. That was no shit the cringiest greeting I've ever heard. And I know Spike. Come on. It wasn't that bad. I just wanted to try something different to mix things up. Next time, don't. Okay, I get it. Can we now please continue? Fun. So, what's been taking you so long this time? Oh, I just made a slight detour to visit the junkyard of scrapped ideas. I must say, you visit that place surprisingly often for a pony of your age. Yeah, should we, worry about you or something? No, everything is fine. I just like the place for all the curious things you can find there. Like the thing I found today. You see, I was just strolling through the piles of trash and looking at the options. As one does, when I found the strangest and also best thing I had ever seen. And what was that exactly? Here, let me show you. Stein! Shalosh! Wait a minute, is that Pinkie Pie? Not quite. It's a Pinkie Pie robot. A Pinkie Pie robot? Yeah, I found her inside a trash can, right next to a dual disc in an old miraculous ladybug costume. Sure, why not? Robotus has come up with far more idiotic ideas than a robotic Pinkie Pie, so I'm not questioning anything about it. Instead, let's see what she can do. Okay, let me turn her on. Turn her on? Sweetie Belle, let's keep this sketch G-rated, alright? You know, that's not what I meant! And now be quiet. I need to concentrate. Hey, Sweetie Belle strikes again. Alright, I have had enough of this stupid fucking name. In my whole life, I had never done anything that would warrant calling me that. It's just because Bot also starts with the letter B. That's the most retarded reason to give a nickname I had ever heard of. They could as well have called me Sweetie Bagel and it would just have been as justified. Wow, seems like this was bothering you for some time now. It was, but now that I've vented about it, I feel much better. So back to the bot. Not to wake sleeping dogs, but if you're obviously no robot, what is all this techno data stuff you're doing to start Pinkie Bot? You don't know? I'm a technomancer. You are? I had no idea. Most likely because it isn't that interesting, to be honest. So, Espy, are you done soon with activating Pinkie Bot? Just one moment, and I'm done. Hi, I'm Pinkie Pie, and I love parties. Great, so let's see what she can do. Hi, I'm Pinkie Pie, and I love parties. Yeah, so, how are you today? I love having birthday. The cake and presents are always great fun. Okay, so it's your birthday? My favorite color is red. It reminds me of red balloons. That doesn't make any sense. Hey, what is your purpose? It's party time, and isn't it great? You're actually just a waste of time, right? Hi, I'm Pinkie Pie. Parties are just the greatest thing. Okay, I've had enough of her. Whoa, watch out! What is your deal? I just couldn't bear listening to her anymore. And you think the right response to that is to kill her with the TV? I know it was a tad overkill, but she was just so boring. Yeah, I know what you mean. Thinking about it, most things feel pretty empty and pointless since the whole Agent Classified incident was sorted out. Right? I mean, there was the cozy doll arc, but even that was not remotely as enjoyable as I hoped it would be. At least we got to see the young Six again. That was nice. Now that you mention it, Sweetie Belle, what have they been up to since the show had ended? Why are you asking? Didn't they show it in the final episode of our show? No, that was just their characters. I want to know what the real young Six are doing right now. Oh, right, I sometimes forget that the show didn't always depict real events. So, Sweetie Belle, what do your Canterlot contacts tell you about the whereabouts of our friends? Let me think. Yeah, I guess I could tell you one or two things about them. So let's start with Sandbar. After finishing Friendship School, he decided to open his own business, a small beach-themed pub fittingly named the Sandbar bar. Wow, such creativity. Maybe the name isn't the best, but his success speaks for itself. You're right. I for one am happy for him and his business.
Hi, I'm Pinkie Pie, and I can question things.
Hey, look. Pinkie Bot is still alive. What shall we do with her? Shut her off. Nah, just ignore her. She will shut down by herself if we don't interact with her for some time. If you say so. Next up, let's talk about Yona. In her case, the show's finale was actually accurate, as she's working for my sister. Although no pony really knows what she actually does for her. Last I heard, she went on a one-way flight to Nigeria and never returned. I'm not worrying too much about her. She's pretty resilient, so she can shift for herself.
Hi, I'm Pinkie Pie, or am I not?
Gallus on the other hoof has taken it into his head to recover the idol of Boreas from the abysmal abyss. Yeah, that would suit him. He's already tried multiple times, but to no avail. But Gallus is determined to get the idol, or to die trying. Wow, I wouldn't have guessed he could be so brave. No wonder that despite his failures, he is regarded as something like a national hero of the Griffins.
Who are you? And what are you?
Next up, we'll talk about Ocellus. She has reinvented herself as the Pegasus named Nightshine and moved to Philadelphia, where she writes books for introverted fillies. That's nice. I'm really happy she could find her true calling. Yeah, me too.
Why are you different? Or am I different?
My next info is highly confidential, so you haven't heard it from me. After finishing school, Silverstream had joined the Equestrian Secret Service, an organization called Ruff. Her ability to fly, move on land, and breathe underwater already made her one of the most versatile agents Ruff has ever seen. Yeah. I can picture it, especially now that she doesn't have to behave all hyperactive all the time. Yeah, she has her partner for that. He may seem a bit dopey at first, but when push comes to shove, she can count on him. Most of the time, at least. Wait a second, that does sound a bit familiar to me. On the other hoof, it could also just be a coincidence.
Why can't I remember anything? Talk to me!
And last but not least, there is Smolder. To know her current occupation, I firstly need to explain what had happened in the Dragonland since the show ended. After Tierek and Chrysalis tried to take over Equestria in the show's pre-finale, Dragon Lord Amber had ramped up the military of the Dragonlands. Part of that was installing a new task force of the most talented dragons there are, called the Dragon Guard. Smolder is part of that task force, being the fastest flyer the Dragonland has ever seen.
Headwiper always looked like metal! I can't seem to remember!
Okay, I hadn't been sure about Silverstream, but after hearing about Smolder, I'm convinced there's something up. Sweetie Belle, are you making references to things our English-speaking audience won't understand? You got me. The last two were indeed references to their German voice actors. But why would you do such a thing? This isn't like you. Oh, right. Robots. Yeah, that would explain a lot. But nonetheless, what I had said about them is all true.
Do you perceive my existence? It is me, Pinkie Pie. You know me.
Thinking about it, this shows again how strange the workings of our world really are. What do you mean? I'm talking about how all of them found some kind of great job or rank, even though all they ever had to show was a degree in friendship. While you two and me have been in the same grade for over 11 years now with no graduation in sight, or any sign of progress to begin with. Hold on, she is right! Yeah, what's up with that?
Why are you ignoring me? It is me, your friend Pinkie Pie.
Sweetie Belle, are you sure she will shut down if we keep ignoring her? Because it doesn't seem to be working at all. I can see that myself, just give me a minute to think. Fuck that, let me try something. Listen here, you are not Pinkie Pie.
No, that cannot be true.
What are you doing? Solving our problem.
If I'm not Pinkie Pie, who else could I be?
A robot. Or an android, to be precise.
An android? Me? That's impossible. But it would also answer many of my questions.
She is still not shutting down. What shall we do? Good question. We can't just let her roam around all by herself, right? Even though we told her the truth, she still seems to think she's Pinkie Pie. If we let her go, she could pull a Sunset Shimmer and kill the real Pinkie to take her place. How do we even know about the whole Sunset Shimmer thing? I have no idea. This whole separate but still overlapping continuity stuff is far too complicated to keep track of.
Okay, listen here, little ponies. I will just go my way and we can forget about all this. No harm done, right?
I'm sorry, but we can't let you do that. Yeah, would be too high of a risk.
No, really, I promise I will leave and not cause any trouble. We can just leave everything that happened behind us and live our lives like before.
We need to find a solution to this situation. Until then, you're not going anywhere.
Listen, I don't want any dispute. All I want is
What the hell are you doing? I don't know. I just panicked. Quick, before she gets up.
Why, can't you just let me exist? That's all I'm asking for. Please have mercy with me. I promise you won't ever see me get mad.
Just not let me be.
We killed her. I know it was just a robot, but I still feel horrible. No shit. I prefer when everything was just boring and nothing ever happened. Yeah, me too. So I guess we should go now and... Wait, we can't just leave her here. What if some pony finds her? Right. Oh, I got an idea. I'll quickly run to the farm to get some shovels. Then we can bury the bot where no pony will ever find her. That's a great idea. It's decided then. We'll hide her inside the bushes until you come back. All right, see you soon. Oh, and Sweetie Belle, be so kind and keep away from the junkyard from now on. Don't worry. I have had enough of this place after this incident. Now hurry. We don't have much time. Okay, I'm going.